Week 12 Thursday Night Football features a couple of teams off of wins as the Buffalo Bills visit the Houston Texans. We will break all of this down for you, including what the best bets are for this game, Josh Allen MVP slips all the way back, maybe, some player props, and of course, much, much more. Welcome to the channel. Ninja here with Nick Holz. Hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, turn those notifications on for when all of our video content drops. Let's dig in here, Nick. CJ Stroud, his status still up in the air for Week 12. Houston has won back-to-back games, though, with Davis Mills starting. He's keeping this team afloat to a degree. I know the defense is elite, and we'll talk about that. But in Davis Mills' starts the last 2 weeks, almost 600 yards combined passing, 3 touchdown passes, 1 pick, 1 rushing touchdown. Has he established himself, Nick, as one of the top backup QBs in the league?
Hey, you got to hand it to him. That comeback against Jacksonville was something to watch. And, you know, he's doing everything you'd want out of a backup quarterback, right? Just keeping the offense ahead of the chains and playing point guard out there. You've got a healthy Nico Collins. You've got some weapons out there for him, and he's delivering. So I think he'll be a solid backup in the league for the next decade or so. But, you know, you look at the underlying metrics, and he's just 36 out of 39 quarterbacks in the NFL in EPA per play. So he's in the range of a Jake Browning and Justin Fields, right where you see all the backup quarterbacks in the league.
The Texans have an absolutely elite defensive unit in any metric you want to look at, and this really, truly keeps them alive in every single game. Number 1 defensive DVOA, top pass defense DVOA, and a still very good rushing defense DVOA, though it doesn't rank nearly as high as the DVOA against the pass. Can I interest you, Nick, in the Texans to finish second in the division at plus 250, or even, if you want to go a bit ballsy here, Nick, to win the division at 14-1? You taking either of those?
Yeah, that's a neat little shout there. I mean, I love this defense. DeMeco Ryans really knows how to coach a defense. They're first in EPA per play allowed and third in success rate against. I'd normally really like that bet of the Texans to finish second at plus 250, but you look at the remaining strength of schedule, and Houston has the 5th toughest remaining docket left. They've got games not only against these Bills, but also 2 against the rising Colts. You've also got the Chargers and Chiefs. So I'm not really sure how many wins you can pencil in for the Texans here, especially with Stroud hurt and the offense a bit of a mess.
Josh Allen now enters the week coming off a 6 TD performance, a one-man show, leading the Bills in their win in Week 11. Are Josh Allen MVP betting slips back on again after, you know, they took a bit of a dip the last couple weeks? They've currently moved to plus 475. You back in on this hype train?
Yeah, this MVP race is just out of control now. I think one game's probably going to decide it. And we saw Josh Allen with 6 touchdowns again. It's just another record after another record falling by the wayside with Allen at quarterback. He's almost superhuman out there on Sunday. Stafford's the favorite right now. Allen, I believe, in third at about plus 450. You've also got defenses in the Jets and Bengals incoming that Josh Allen can absolutely light up and just boost his candidacy even more. But you've also got to think the Bills are second in the division right now to the 9-2 Patriots. And most MVPs go to a division-winning quarterback who's probably a top 2 or 3 seed. So unless you really like the Bills to catch up on the Pats or Stafford or Drake May to fall by the wayside, I'm kind of staying away from Josh Allen even still.
I've been fascinated with Keon Coleman since he came into the league. He was a healthy scratch in the Bills' Week 11 win. It does leave the door open potentially for other wide receivers in this Bills wide receiver room to step up, or maybe even Keon Coleman himself, who now has teammates sort of calling him out to like grow up and mature a little bit. Are there any 1 or 2 guys that you would target in this game for wide receiver props? Or like I said, maybe Coleman himself, or maybe the better question is this. Is there any one matchup that you target for player props that may play into the advantage of this offense?
Yeah, I think Terrell Shaver is really the name of the week. You know, 90 yards and a score against the Bucs on Sunday. I'd probably fade Shavers here because, you know, the whole public is going to be on him to have a repeat performance against Houston. And this defense is very, very good, especially the secondary led by Derek Stingley. So I'm probably fading Bills receivers here, unless you find a really nice line for the likes of, say, a Gabe Davis, who we all know has chemistry with Josh Allen, and the Bills just recently picked up. He had 3 catches for 40 yards last week. Or look for a speedster like a Josh Palmer to get one deep maybe and take the top off the defense.
Folks, you can get Prop Professor for 50% off for the first month. This app drops hundreds of plus EV bets every single day, giving you a real shot at finding long-term profit. There are still some plus EV plays out for this game here. Bills at -4.5, plus 115 at Hard Rock, 1.3% plus EV. Just a sample of what you can find over at Prop Professor. There's tons of tools here on this app. It's got a fantasy optimizer as well, and it's easily the best bang for buck in this market compared to its competition. You can use the promo code OddsShark50 at checkout, and remember, you can get 50% off for that first month. All right, let's look at the game here. The Texans are 4.5-point home underdogs in this one. They are -105 there. The Bills at -4.5, -115. The total is 43.5. Either side right now, -110. Plenty of prop opportunities here, Nick. But what are you looking at for this from a betting perspective?
Yeah, the Bills right in the thick of the AFC playoffs, and it's going to be a battle. You know, all of a sudden the Patriots have a soft schedule, and Buffalo's unlikely to win the division, so they need to keep winning here. They're just 2-2 against the spread on the road so far this season. But at the same time, we just watched Davis Mills and the Texans struggle to fend off the lowly Titans. Buffalo's defense can't stop the run, but the Texans are the worst rushing team in the NFL with just a 32% success rate. So there's very few avenues to victory here for Houston. I've just got to go with Josh Allen and the Bills here, -4.5. I don't really like the line, but I'll take it.